Hi, it's Karen here. Thank you for joining me. And today I thought we would change it up a little bit. Excuse me. And I thought we would do a really nice, easy watercolour, very atmospheric landscape with some little reeds and maybe a few little birds in. I've put some washi tape down. This is an A4 sheet of watercolour paper. I've just cut it in half and then sectioned it off into two A6 sizes. Now, if you want to, you can do two different colours on each side, or just go over the same, the whole same sheet of paper to get your painting. Let me get started, and it'll all become apparent. I'm just going to be using a half size flat brush, and it's just in some very lightly excuse me, coloured water. I've just put a few little just flicks of my brush into my water pot because I wanted to keep that blue, soft blue colour. I don't know whether the camera's picking it up or not, but not saturating the paper. We're working on wet, and just make sure that we've got it covered. Now I have made a puddle of paint here, and this is a mixture of cerulean blue and Prussian blue, and all I'm doing is I'm just gonna rub that across, not thinking about it too much, just going straight over the washi tape and just working my way down, graduating as I go. Just get that colour down, and then a little bit more water just to push your paint around a little bit. Okay. And it's as simple as that. Oh, it's very hot here today, and my washi tape doesn't want to stick to my desk. I'm going to warm this up a little bit, and I'm just going to put a little bit of rose madder in, just to make it a little bit more interesting, just to give some kind of the feeling of sunset, because the sun would be quite low down. All right, now you could follow the same color pattern over this side if you want to, or you could use a different color to get a different feel. It's entirely up to you. I think I am going to keep it in the same color palette, so not to confuse too much. And I'm just putting that paint down, going into my lovely blue again, and just dropping that in. Now, if you've got some tissue to hand, you could do some blotting out if you wanted to right now. Get some really interesting cloud shapes. That's good. I appear not to have any to hand. Two shapes. Right, back. And I've just got some scrumpled up kitchen roll, and I'm just going to take that excess out and just see what nice marks we get. I'm going to darken it up a little bit. I've got another puddle of paint here, and that's with a little bit more Prussian blue, just to give me a little bit darker on the base. And we're just running our brush about a quarter of a way up our paper. Doesn't have to be precise. You can go as high or as low as you want, but it just just ground it for us. Gonna drop in a little bit more. I'm just gonna pop that in because I want a slightly more stronger colour. Again, nice. At this stage I've just put in some more water because I do want it to flow more. And then I'm just going to blot out with my trusted piece of tissue. Okay. Now at this stage I think it'd be quite nice to maybe put some nice gestural marks in, some little grasses, and you can go in whichever direction you choose. Just seeing a bit of a line there that's quite distracting, so I'm just going to blend that out a bit, and I'm just going to blend this bit out a bit because I'm not liking that too much. Okay, so then again with the bottom of my size 4 Japanese watercolor brush, I'm just scratching into very lightly different directions. You don't have to think, oh yeah, I've got to do it in a particular way. No, just put these lovely marks down. Okay, now I'm going to change. I don't know whether we've used any of the this is the dagger brush, and it's a 1/4 dagger brush, and it's a really lovely brush to have. I've already wet mine, so it's got a very nice point, and I had a few of you asking me about what brushes are good for getting a really thin line, and this is a really good brush to do that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just the very tip of my dagger, and then I'm going to go into Prussian blue, and just with the tip I'm just going to do really nice easy marks, flicking almost, but we're just using the tip of the dagger brush, and I don't want the whole belly of the brush to be holding paint. I just want the tip, and I'm just putting this down. Now we're going to be doing this in layers because it will go lighter, and I'm just letting my brush run out. Okay, go in different directions, a nice flicking motion, and using all the paint up on my brush, again going into my pan, working straight from the pan, and I'm literally just putting these really gestural marks, and as you can see they're starting to, you can see the reed bed coming. Okay, the paper is buckling a little bit because for some reason my washi tape doesn't want to stick, which is a bit of a nuisance, but hey, we'll carry on regardless. And again, I've just loaded the tip of my brush up, and I'm just putting in these lovely free little gestural marks, and it's just using the tip, ensuring that you do let your brush run out. That is quite important, because then you get the different values in your painting. Now I'm going to go further down into the belly of the brush. I'm not going to go completely down, but I'm going down to about 1/4 of the brush, and I'm going to start introducing some different marks, and they're slightly thicker because I want to give the base of the reeds a darker feel. So I'm just and I'm using every scrap of paint from my brush. Okay, keep darting from one side of your painting to the other side. Okay, now you can do some really nice sharp dark values in here if you want to. You can keep it short on this side, or this side you can keep it introduce some really strong reeds in. I think it's nice to change it up a little bit. Okay. And again, just keeping it nice, and so we're in control. We're just using all the paint up. I'm not going so I'm not extending up into the sky on this one so much, because I kind of want it to graduate. Just making sure my brush is damp. Again, not loading the brush up too much, and just keeping these really nice tufty reeds and things. Okay, and we do want the darker values in our painting because it will help with the contrast and give our painting life. So that's very important. Again, I'm concentrating just at the bottom and just putting these. I'm going to go in different directions because why not? And this, I've changed the angle up of my brush, and I've kind of, instead of doing it with a point, I'm slightly at an angle and I'm just pushing. It gives me that kind of feathery feel. Okay, if you can just see, that gives quite a nice ephemeral feel, nice and light, and it also brings us into the painting. Just going to damp it down a little bit, and then again with the darker hue, so I've got a darker value of paint. Going back to the tip of my brush now, so I've got some nice different movement going in my painting. Okay, so you can see it now starting to build up. Now I am just going in and I'm loading up probably more than we have done on up till now, and this is a very concentrated load of paint on my brush, because I do want those dark values in my painting. Okay, and get those down. Now, just with the tip of my brush, pick whichever, I'm going to use this one, and at the angle I'm just going to just drop in a light stroking movement, and just put just so you can get the reed heads. Let's put another little one in here, and again let's put one in here, and again, you don't have to be a slave to this, just make sure you take it to a point, not to a point, but so it tapers away. Let's put a little one in here. I don't know whether you can hear that, but we've got sheep in the field, and they're, I think they're missing their mum. I think the lambs have been separated, and I think they're calling to their mum. So, and you can carry on going as I think I'll just put a bigger, and I've just pushed down slightly just to give me that nice feathery feel. Okay, and it does soften it up quite a lot. I'm just going to put now, if you think I don't have enough dark tones at the bottom, just take the excess paint off your brush, just dab it on your paper brush, and just give it a little flick with your brush. Not too much, because you don't want a harsh line, but it just gives you that line there. Shall we just put a little bit more of a, just there, just as a nod that there's another one there. Okay, and if you, I think we'll put some little birds in there, shall we? Again, so these are further away, so I'm just doing these because they're on their way home, or and it's just literally like so. And there we have it. It's a really fun, quick and very, very easy little watercolour landscape. I'm just going to take the washi tape off. Hopefully you'll let yours dry before you do this, but you can get a feel of what the border. I think it looks nice with a washi tape border. And we just take the center one off. And there we have it. A really easy, very, very simple little watercolor. Now you can keep this as one, and if you wanted to, let's just I'll just bring my paints back, and I think going off piste now, let's just put a little nod there. Just take that out, and it pulls the two over together. Okay, that's if you want to. If you want to keep them as two separate little paintings, absolutely, you can do that. Just put a little fellow in there. I'm fiddling. Put your brush down. So there we have it. Truly finished now. I hope you like this one, and I hope you do give this one a go. It's lovely to do, and if you decide to give it to somebody as a little watercolour gift, they'll be thrilled. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye, take care, and hope to see you again soon. Bye.